Today we're going to learn how to make pesto sauce. Now, the key ingredients to pesto sauce are fresh basil, olive oil, garlic, Parmesan cheese, and pine nuts. And then, of course, salt and pepper. So these are the key ingredients to making any pesto sauce. To make variations on the pesto, you would probably just substitute sun-dried tomatoes, roasted red peppers for the basil. Or you can make parsley, pesto, any type of herb you want. I like to make traditional, just basil pesto. So one of my favorite cookbooks is Everyday Italian by Giada De Laurentiis, and that's the recipe I'm going to use for a basic basil pesto. So to get started, it says that you should have about a half cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. So I like to buy my Parmesan cheese in blocks and grate it myself. That way I can control the freshness of the cheese. I think that it just tastes a lot better when you grate it on your own. So here I'm just going to cut off the rinds. And we're going to pop this in the food processor. And the food processor is my favorite kitchen utensil. It really makes any job go so much faster. All I'm doing is cubing the cheese to speed up this process so it takes less energy to get this going. Now all we need is a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. So let me just throw this last little bit in. You can't waste any of this. This is beautiful cheese. I bought this yesterday at DePaulo's. It's a specialty store in Little Italy, one of my favorite stores in New York. Usually have to wait around half an hour just to get them to wait on you. It's an amazing store. All right, so I'm just going to pulse this. Alright, that looks about right. So you want to get it until it's in tiny crumbs. And then we can measure out our half a cup. So, here's my fourth cup of pine nuts all ready to go. So let's see here. Okay, I'm just going to get a quick bowl over here. A handy dandy little serving bowls for ingredients, and I'm just going to dump this out here. So look at that beautiful fresh cheese. Doesn't that look delicious? I'm going to put my base back on my food processor, and now the recipe calls for just blending 2 cups of basil, a 1/4 cup of these pine nuts. You can get a close-up on these pine nuts. Look at how delicious they look. Oh, I wish we had smell-o-vision right now. You can just smell the aromas. I toasted them in the oven on 400 degrees for around 7 minutes. And just the oil is just unleashed, and it smells amazing in here. So I'm just going to go ahead, dump those in my food processor. Also, it calls for a clove of garlic. Now, I don't know about you, but I love garlic. So I'm just going to crush this baby, and I'm adding 2 cloves. So this is my own little variation on Giada's recipe, because I love garlic. So whenever you're working with garlic, all you have to do is just give it one of these crushes with the back of your knife, and look at how easy that is. It just pops out. So simple, right? And don't even worry about chopping. Throw those right in there. The food processor does all the work for you. I'm going to throw in a half teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to kind of gauge this. And when you're working with fresh ingredients like this, it's wonderful because you control all the ingredients. I'm controlling the salt level. It's fantastic. Also calls for 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper. And this is delicious pepper. Really fantastic. Smells so good already. Okay. Now it calls for 2 cups of fresh basil. Now this basil is just beautiful, organic basil. Now it calls for 2 cups. Now this is 1 cup, so I'm just going to assume that I can fit that all in there. That would be 1 cup. So I'm just going to cut off the leaves, or the stems. You don't want the stems in your pesto. You just want these beautiful big leaves. So I'm going to blend this. Can you see that? Oh my God, it's smelling so delicious. I'm just going to start pulsing this so I can get all of this delicious. You want to get all the leaves blended down. Beautiful. Okay, now next, you want to add in just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Now, I love extra virgin olive oil. It's a staple that you want to use in any Italian cooking. All right, so the recipe calls for 2/3 of a cup. So we are just going to pour this in to the top of our food processor as it's churning. So I'm going to turn it on and drizzle this down. And it's going to slowly incorporate. Little by little. Add my another 1/3 of a cup. All right. Beautiful. Oh, look at this. Can you get a close-up here? I mean, look at that beautiful green sauce. Oh, the smells are absolutely divine. Now, I'm going to transfer this. Now, you're going to want to transfer this to a bowl once you get to this stage because you haven't yet stirred in all of your cheeses. So, take this, get a handy spatula, and just put this all into a medium-sized bowl. Oh, it smells absolutely divine. So you really want to scrape up every little bit of goodness. You don't want to waste this. All right. Now, next you want to put in your Parmesan cheese that we freshly grated. So this calls for 1/2 cup. So there's 1/4 cup. And I'll do it at a time. And you're just going to stir this in. And this Parmesan cheese just has such a nutty flavor. It's absolutely wonderful. Add in our second 1/4 of the cup. And just stir this together. And that's all it is, all there is to it. Just take a spoon and get a little taste. That is so good. All right. Well, I've taught you how to make your basil pesto. I've showed you how easy it is. Now I may just sit here and eat the whole bowl. So, till next time.